Good afternoon. I am here to talk about the book called Accountable by Dashka Slater, which is a powerful real-world narrative that addresses questions facing our students every single day. Some of these questions involve: what does it mean to be a quote-unquote good person? What happens when harm is done? And how do we as a community choose to respond? Now, Accountable, like I said, is a nonfiction book that explores the aftermath of a group of high school boys who create a private Instagram account filled with like racist, sexist, and overall deeply offensive content. Now, when this account is inevitably exposed, the school and community, as well as everybody in between, must grapple with the questions of accountability, justice, and repair. Now, in this book, Slater does not offer us any easy answers to these things, but she does offer us complexity. She weaves together things like text messages and interviews, reflection and research, to unpack how seemingly good kids could do something so harmful to both their classmates and their very close friends, and what it takes to make things right. Now, for me, and for many people, this book is not just a compelling read. It's not just something to create a discourse or get students talking, but it's a mirror and a window for so many of our students. I could argue all of our students. For the students who have experienced racism, exclusion, or silence, it allows them to feel seen and to be heard. And maybe for students who have not experienced these adversities, it allows them to open a necessary dialogue about the role of bystanders, the impact of digital behavior, especially in the year of 2025, everything's online, and what it means to create not only a safe space within our smaller communities, but also a safe school environment for all of our students. Now, from an academic standpoint, Accountable is a very rich text for developing critical reading and thinking skills. Through her journalistic style, because this is not a typical narrative, it's more so text messages, reflections, it's got some quotes in there, it's not your typical paragraph by paragraph narrative. But by doing this in a more journalistic style, it allows students to analyze multiple perspectives, track arguments and evidence, and engage with essential questions around things like ethics or identity. I think this book also lends itself to high-level writing assignments such as argumentative essays, reflective writing, and real-world research projects that could include things like digital citizenship, topics about restorative justice, or racial equality and inequality. Teaching Accountable supports objectives that we would use in our everyday classroom, such as evaluating how authors use rhetoric and evidence to develop ideas, integrating and evaluating multiple sources on the same topic, writing arguments to support claims using valid reasoning and evidence, and initiating and are participating in thoughtful discussions. Now, beyond just standards, accountability helps us build the kind of classroom community that I think all of us as teachers would like to build. Tricia Abarvia states in her book, Get Free, a classroom is an intricate web of delicate strands woven together. All students have social, political, and cultural differences, and as a teacher, this makes creating safe spaces even more challenging. And I think Accountable as a book really helps us do this hard work. It invites students to engage emotionally and intellectually in a space that honors all students' differences rather than marginalizing some and putting others on a pedestal. This approach to this book is also in alignment with Vermont's Educational Equity Brief, more specifically supporting our students of color, which urges educators to use culturally responsive materials and to create spaces where students of colors can, I quote, tell their own stories, explore issues relevant to them, and feel emotionally and culturally safe. Now, I understand that this book raises a lot of difficult topics: racism, sexism, overall marginalization. There's a lot of mature verbiage, mature themes, there's school disruptions. But I would argue that these topics or these themes aren't a reason to censor this book, but they're more of the reason that we need it in the classroom. Whether we like to believe it or not, students are encountering these issues every single day, whether that be online, in the hallways, in the classroom, at home, or in silence. And I think our job as educators is to help these students process these issues, reflect on them, and ultimately grow into more informed and empathetic people. Ultimately, accountability is not about punishment. It's about taking responsibility. It challenges students to ask themselves, what kind of person do I want to be, and what community do I want to help create? All of these reasonings further my wanting or understanding of why I believe that accountability belongs in the classroom, not just in spite of its context, or not to spite its context, but because of the context or contents themselves. Thank you.